Well, there have been a series of absurdities reported from Pakistan just ahead of the news now that tomorrow Pakistan could be coming out with its response to the 2611 dossier. And these are some of the absurdities. Yesterday, news channel Dawn reported that 2611 was not planned in Pakistan. It was a sources-based story and later then pulled off and never came back. Today, there were reports that Kasav is dead, and this report also came out on a website, news websites, all over the media, and then, strangely enough, it was pulled back again. Now we hear that the 2611 probe report is ready, it's going through the legal checks, and tomorrow it's likely to be out. And US media already reporting that the probe report is likely to be a cover-up. Our first few guests on the show this evening, Wajad Khan is foreign editor of Dawn News, which has been reporting many of those stories, and Maruf Raza is with us from Delhi. We'll be joined by General Qureshi in some time. Now, Wajad, just explain, please, what's going on there. I mean, yesterday your channel reported that there's going to be reported the Pakistani denial, and then that story never came back. It was strangely taken off.
You know as much as we do, Arnab. First of all, there's been a lot of diplomatic back and forth, which is unfortunate because I'm in complete agreement with the Indian Foreign Minister when he says that the government of Pakistan should be communicating via the correct channels and not just through the media. Now, in Pakistan's defense, as far as communicating with India is concerned, one thing is certain, that the Pakistanis are taking this investigation very seriously. It's been promised so in Parliament, and civil society is pressuring the government. All sorts of elements at this point now are interested in getting the true verdict on what happens, what will be the elements of that dossier. As far as the reporting on Kasab's death is concerned, I didn't take that too seriously the first time it came around. Now we have a confirmation from the Indian side that that was just a rumor, that he's in safe custody, and that there's going to be a special court which is going to handle his hearings. But the bottom line is, I think, that there's been too much back and forth. I think it's time to settle down, hold on to our hats, let that dossier come out as promised by the Pakistani government, and let diplomacy take its toll from there.
Okay. Now, you know, the way obviously it will be looked at, all of this, because this doesn't happen ordinarily. You don't report the government saying Kasav is dead and then take the story off and then report another time that it's a denial and then take that story off again. It is being seen, and I want to come first to Maruf on this. Maruf, it is being seen, isn't it, that Pakistan desperately tried to delay everything possible by first pulling this stunt that Kasav is dead, then Kasav is not a Pakistani, then pulling out some raw agents yesterday, saying that they've suddenly been pulled out of nowhere, and now, you know, this whole report that the denial came 2 days before the official denial. I mean, how do you read all this?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, let's look at it from both sides. I think on India's part, clearly Kasav is the clinching piece of evidence that we have against Pakistan on the 2611 episode. I think where the Indian establishment has faltered is on two counts. One is that it has certainly not made from the very beginning Kasab's presence public by giving maybe an unscheduled press conference or whatever, and get him to utter at the earliest stages what his linkages and his motivations were. And the second point is that the Indian government should have provided with the evidence to Pakistan his DNA proof, because at that point of time, Pakistan and the Guardian itself in the UK and several news agencies in Pakistan had reported that Kasab's family was still around, and that time a DNA check could have been done. And instead of waiting for the entire dossier to be compiled, and thirdly, and I think most importantly, the point I want to raise, that the dossier that India has compiled is very meticulously put together. And you have the Pakistani Prime Minister now saying that if there is anything substantive, then we will talk to the international community about it. Clearly, Pakistan's establishment is in a state of denial. And secondly, Pakistan's establishment has a disconnect with what Wajahat is claiming is the public opinion. Public opinion, we know, is in favor of good relations with India and wants to come clean on this episode. But the establishment's role has always dictated Pakistan's relationship with India. And on this count, if Pakistan doesn't deliver, my view is that I think India will have to up the ante on several other counts.
And that's what many people fear. I mean, so it's a risk that Pakistan takes tomorrow, General Qureshi, isn't it? You come out with a complete denial. It also shows that you basically lack the good intent that you spoke about immediately after 2611. And that you hope that the world is distracted today with Taliban in Afghanistan so much that people will not ask you what happened to Murid K, what happened to Zakiur Rahman, what happened to the people who trained all these terrorists in Murid K with grenades and rocket launchers. You're just hoping that all of this just goes away, don't you? General Qureshi?
I think the way you put the question, you've come to conclusions before you even ask for an opinion. I think that's unfair. And I don't think the Pakistan government, so far, as I know, has tried to do any of the things that you think they've tried to do. I do not speak for the government. However, I am just being fair to both sides. And I think what Pakistan, so far, whatever Pakistan has said, Pakistan's not just worked on, but I heard the foreign minister today say that the investigation is nearly complete, and within, he didn't say the number of days, but he said very soon it will be shared with India. I think, again, I've been saying this for the past 1 month now, and I think what I've been saying is finally coming true, that please wait for the official information from the Pakistan government before we start criticizing.